Hey man, welcome back to Man Time. Today we have got a real treat. Big red oak came down right across this fence going out toward the road. I'm at my neighbor's house. I saw this from the road as I was test driving my blue car that I just got done doing the head gaskets on. It's still got a little issue. I think it was an issue that carried over. Anyway, not important. I had a big smile on my face when I saw this coming down out toward the road, and just so happened my neighbor was nice enough to let me come out on his property here and make some chips. Let's do this. Welcome to Man Time. First thing we want to do here before we even fire up a chainsaw or anything is evaluate what we're looking at. So this tree has come uprooted, but you can also see it's rotten in the middle and there's not much holding it there. And it is a fairly substantial tree. Let's get in there a little bit closer and see what other hazards we've got to look out for. So right here is pretty much our main hazard. That's a electrical box there. And it's marked, you know, with an electrical sign on it there. It looks like it took a little bit of the hit. But, I mean, overall, you've just got it sprawling out toward the road there. And some of these upper limbs are going to be pretty difficult to determine how to set those down the best way. Should have just drove my tractor over here, I guess. Well, you guys have seen what we're working with here. How would you start out this job? I think what I'm going to try to do is get some of the limb weight off of the top by cutting on the top. So when I go to cut these ones on the bottom, there's not as much weight there that's trying to, you know, allow the tree to shift one way or another. I think that's where I'm going to start. Yeah, let's start with this top one. Let's start with both of these two top ones. See if we can get them going the right direction. Alright, steel and Husqvarna today. I wanted to get hammers out, get a little bit more time on it. It's already been semi-battle tested, but this is a real test. And then I wanted to bring the 461 out with that 8-tooth sprocket on it and try it in some of this hardwood. This is perfect. This is red oak. This is the real deal. This is really going to test this saw and help me determine if this is, you know, what I want it to be. I also brought my ported 036 and my 020 handsaw for some of the smaller stuff. I may just start off with the 020, get a lot of this stuff going the right direction on the smallest side of the wood where it's kind of hanging down, touching on the road. I think that's where I'm going to start. So let's get this 020 fired up, get some of these smaller branches that are touching the ground cut and cut up and cut off. So that way when I cut it at the top, or at this fork up here, it's not trying to kind of lay down and bend and move, you know, different directions. I want it to kind of fall when I cut it back up over here. Does that make sense? Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Well, let's start with some of the smaller stuff, getting some of these smaller branches out of the way, and see how this little 020 does. Haven't ran it in probably a month and a half or so. Let's just see how it starts, I guess, huh? Choke on. Quite a few. I don't know about you, but I just love puzzles, and this is the perfect type of man puzzle, right? You've got to figure out exactly where these limbs are holding the tree's weight and where to cut, where's safe to cut, everything like that. So I go around and like feel, you know, each one of these and just, you've got to go through here systematically with a process and a plan, and not just start cutting in, right? You guys know this stuff. Come on, you're men. Well, I was thinking it would be really smart to go home and get my pole saw. It's a whole lot safer, 10, 15 feet away from whatever you're cutting, but I think I can devise a plan here where I can make this as safe as it's going to be without the pole saw. And I've got this limb completely dangling now, right? So I can cut it back here at the fork, and it should just easily kind of lay over. And then what I can do is, see, this one is right over this power stuff right here, right? So I don't want that to come crashing down anyway. But I can cut a notch in the bottom of it back here, and then make my back cut on the top of it, let it just fall and be caught by the branches, and then go down to the branches and start, cutting those on the tension side, so it kind of gradually just keeps dropping. And then for this other one that comes out way out by the street over here, I think I'm going to do the same for that one, but I'm going to cut my notch back here at the fork, so it kind of wants to lay off to the side. Will all this stuff work? I don't know. That's why I got the camera rolling, man. You just never know what's going to happen. Alright, I think I'm going to get that one out by the road, and then we'll get back to the forks. Let's do something fun. I'm fairly confident I could take this whole tree out with this little 020. It's just such a good running little saw. But let's do in small wood 020 versus ported 77cc Husqvarna big bore. Why not, huh? We're here. We got all the time in the world. Let's do it. Oh man, that's fun. All right. Ported 77, 76, whatever cc. I think we know who the winner of that one's going to be, don't we? Oh man. I wonder if my oiler isn't turned up all the way on this one. I'm looking a little dry in here. Give it a quarter turn. Man, this thing's a monster, isn't it? Now, if you're over here in your neighbor's yard, you need to make sure to ask him, you know, does he want 18-inch, 20-inch, 24-inch? You know, be good to your neighbors. And they'll let you come over and play with chainsaws in their front yard. That's a good saw there. Dang it, boy. For this one right here that goes up and away, man, I'm really thinking about getting up on that tree to get that one. Let's take a closer look. You know what? I think this one is going to be doable from the ground. I was thinking about getting up here, like on here, and walking out or sitting on it, and then. But I think I can do both the front of it and the back cut from right here on the ground with that bigger saw. Let's try it. The plan for this one is going to be front cut, back cut, normal cutting situation here. You want to start cutting up this one here? Yeah. Neighbor must have heard that chainsaw. Now he wants all the fun. All right, same deal as that last one. Wedge in the front, back cut, and let it come to rest on those branch tips. Oh, yeah. On, decomps on, crank it over, and then, yeah, so it's going to have tension on the back side, so just come in from the back and zip them off of there. Ready to go.
That thing is magic. That's all there is to describe it. It's magic. Woo! I point my finger at something and slicing it in two.
Oh man, it's so fast, I know it.
No vibration whatsoever.
Well, you got to try this one too, so you can tell your buddy you tried a 461.
Yeah. Boys and their toys. All right, let me get the last cut of this monster. Like butter. My gosh.
Yeah. Well, that was fun. I've got my neighbor's 362C. We're going to see how this one does.
Your contributor of dead trees, neighbor.
Yeah. Well, it's nice enough to let me on his property cut some trees for him.
Good to have you. Saw is loud rather than my brain. Got into the fort.
Alright, let's try out this 036. try the 461 and some bigger wood. Let's see, I ran it completely out of gas, so we'll choke it here. This should give us a good idea of the difference between the two saws. Same CCs, one's ported, one's not. Let's try it out.
Certain frequency that my brain starts jiggling.
All right, man. That was a day, wasn't it? I mean, that's how you really want to test your saws. God, I hate these stupid outros. Maybe somebody will watch them someday. I don't know. Somebody might find some benefit out of these videos at some point. They aren't now, but maybe some point. Anywho, that was a great day in the field doing real-life testing on these saws. As good as cookie cutting is for fun, that's the true way to test your stuff, right? Test it in the field, test it all-day use, just hard running, small limbs, big limbs, bar buried. Man. So, if I was to pick like one saw to take into a field for, you know, a day like today, it would probably have been, man, either the 461 or the old 36, but man, my neighbor, he fell in love with this one, and that kind of speaks volumes. The only issue with this one, really, that I see is that every time I run it or hear it being ran, it sounds like it's just going to blow up. I've got it, I mean, I've got the carb adjusted right. I had to adjust it a few times there, but I mean, it just seemed like, I mean, it's right there on the ragged edge. It seems like it's right there on the ragged edge. I mean, I can still smell it. It's angry. It is so angry, but it's so much fun. So I guess I'll just run it until it blows up. And, you know, this one here too. I mean, between these three steel saws, you've got 40cc, actually 35cc, maybe even less, 33, something like that, for the 020, my favorite hand saw. I mean, just perfect. I could have done that whole tree with that little saw. It would have taken a long time. But, and then the 036, same thing. I mean, it's ported. It's not very hot as far as the timing numbers, durations. It's pretty hot. Pushing up to 160 across the board, intake and exhaust. I mean, same with this one, though. This one's just got those huge transfers, lowers, uppers. But yeah, it's scary fast. 461, man, this is becoming a favorite for sure. Just a reliable saw, starts first pull. All of these started first pull, no messing around. And even after I ran this one out of gas, it was like 3-4 pulls on choke, and it was right there running. I mean, so you know, if you're looking for a one saw show, maybe think about a two saw show. My neighbor's 362. Now so after cutting with it, it wasn't performing very well. We saw that one whole half of the chain was rocked, corners not completely off, all the way down one side of it. So it was not cutting good. It wasn't a good representation of what that saw is or can be. So, but all these saws performed extremely well. If you like this type of stuff, chainsaws, outdoors, farmsteading, homesteading, this channel's for you. It's called Man Time. This is what happens. Get out there, have you some man time too. For those of you guys actually interested in what happened after a day out of cutting, this air filter is like jammed up with sawdust. Both the top side and the bottom side, just full of sawdust. But you can tap it out and it actually gets, you know, kind of clean-ish. Fines down and around inside, none. So it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. 036, again, you've got sawdust just caked in all around the carb, all inside the airbox. A lot of sawdust. So, moving on to Husqvarna. Sawdust, very minimal. I mean, it's sawdust colored, but look at there. I mean, just nothing in there. And nothing down in here. So, and it didn't blow up. I mean, what more can you ask for, I guess, huh? God, it sounds like it's going to blow up, though, doesn't it? 020, I got to take that off of there. So, I'm going to get all these cleaned up and get ready for the next time out in the woods.